wonderful day, and you are welcome to the Ladies in Media Show, the prestigious show that actually celebrates the outstanding work of women in media. My name is Margaret Baden. Today, it's an honor and a privilege for me to have the opportunity to have a one-on-one interaction with a woman I've been looking up to for a very long time. She has been someone that inspired me to be in this field, but she doesn't actually know. We'll get to know more about her, but be reminded that today our question of the day goes, how do young media personalities have a career in media and also a relationship at the same time? Let's go for it. We'll be right back with more. Mom, you're welcome.
Did you just call me Mom? No, you didn't. Margaret, you didn't.
Anita Erskine.
Thank you. I'm not that old.
Anita Erskine.
Yes, Margaret.
It's an honor for me to sit here with you.
Pleasure is all mine.
How does it feel like to be an Anita Erskine?
I don't know. How does it feel like to be a Margaret? What's your name? What's your last name?
Margaret Baden.
Margaret Baden. It's the same thing. You're human. You wake up in the morning and you're a human being. You thank God for life and you just live your life. So I don't think there's a moment where I've stopped and said, I'm Anita Erskine. Let's see. No, you live it.
What does it take to be an Anita Erskine?
Which part of it? Because I'm not perfect. So which part are you talking about?
Your career.
My career? It takes learning to fall with grace.
Oh.
Yeah, learning to fail with grace. Learning to enjoy what you do so much that you want to keep trying over and over. Being surrounded by people who will tell you the truth, but at the same time, people who will also really encourage you to be the best version of yourself all the time. It takes beautiful and wonderful parents like mine who didn't think in the beginning that media, broadcast TV, but who said, oh, okay, try it and see, you know. And then a very, very supportive family that buys into your crazy ideas and that is ever willing to keep urging you on regardless of what is happening. It's a community of people that really believe in me. That's what it takes.
Okay, so how was growing up like for you?
I grew up very quietly because most of my siblings, older siblings, were away at university, secondary school, boarding school. And I grew up really with my parents. So you're young and you're growing up with with elderly people. So there's a lot of wisdom to acquire. I grew up within all those necessary barriers so that I could become the person that you are speaking to today.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was your education background like?
I went to Catholic school, Christ the King School for my primary education, Ghana International School for my secondary education, and then I went to Trent University for my undergrad degree, and then McMaster University in Hamilton, also in Canada for my master's, which I am currently pursuing.
Wow. Were you born in Ghana?
I was born in Jerusalem, Israel, because my father worked in the Middle East at the time. So, I got a chance to be born in the same place as Jesus Christ. Can you feel the Holy Spirit?
I can.
When you walked in here, you feel like the angels,
the
right?
The serene was different.
Yeah, the angels really are with me. So yeah, I was born in Jerusalem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. When did the media-related issue pop in? When did you realize you have interest for media?
I don't think there was a specific time. I think it just kind of happened in phases, and it wasn't media as we know it. As you're describing it. No, when you're 9 and you love to sing in church and you love to hold the microphone and jump on the stage, you're not thinking media. You're just thinking, I love this, Same thing when you're 13 and you're in school and you're doing all these entertainment related things. You're not thinking media. You're thinking, I love to be in plays and I love to be, acting and I love to be singing. But I think at the point where I realized it was very important for me to divert all my energies into this space now that, we call media and broadcasting was, way into maybe about easily 2002, 2003. I'd done my university degree. At that time, even though I was in spaces where, media was related, I had done Metro TV before my university degree. I had done Groove FM. these were things that I did because I was passionate about it. I didn't do them because I said, I will work in this space specifically. I was passionate about it. But
But
communication.
how did you find yourself doing something in Metro?
Halal Patel, he's still around. He'll tell you. I literally walked in there and I said, I was 17. And I said, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Wow.
And of course, given that, they were running a station, they were running a network, they've got rules and regulations, but one thing they did for me is they listened to what I had to say. They didn't say, oh, you teenager, what do you know? Even right down to the receptionist, whoever she was, that I can't remember her, God forgive me, if she's watching this, if she's still alive, she should call me. But they listened. I said, so what do you want to do? And I said, well.
And what show did they allow you to host?
They created, at the time, there was a soap opera on TV called The Bold and Beautiful, and on weekends, they would have The Bold and Beautiful Omnibus. So you would watch Monday's episode right down to Friday, and then they had this call-in, and that is the show I hosted. And that was, and again, it's one of those opportunities that, no practice, no experience, nothing, but confidence, passion, focus, utter determination to sit in that chair, go live every single Saturday and host a show. No experience whatsoever, no educational background, nothing.
Wow. And what doors did that open for you?
I think that it didn't open career doors as it did personal doors. Oh. Personal innate doors. First lesson, you can be whatever you want. I was too young for this to open, career doors. And, there were just a few TV stations, a few radio stations in Ghana. So it wasn't like somebody was saying, hey, I want you to come and work. No, but deep down, as a 17-year-old and then an 18-year-old, if you are that young and you're conscious of the fact that you are that young, and you're conscious of the fact that you're in a space where there are people way older than you, way more experienced. Listen, I was swimming in a sea of powerful whales and dolphins and sharks. You get it? So the doors that opened was what I sit with today. You can't outdo me, not because you're not as good as me. No, not at all. You're also really good. But I have a certain power that allows me to outdo my own self. So it's not about anybody else in the room. It's about me, and me. That's what it did for me.
Wow. And after that opportunity, what next did you do?
Then I went to university and then I studied. And then I did my internships. And the same thing I did with Metro, I walked into various networks, into various radio stations, and I interned, and I volunteered. Listen, I didn't care that you don't have $1 to give me. I would do the work because the value of the experience to me is way more than any money you could pay me. Wow. So I moved around relentlessly, consistently. And by the time I finished my university studies, I applied to do an internship at what was, at the time, Toronto's first Black-owned radio station. And that also created a whole beautiful field of experiences for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. So you've done countless internships.
I can't count them, and I continue to intern. I'm 44. In December, I continue to intern, I continue to volunteer. Yes, I continue to go online and find large organizations that I would love to work for, I would love to be part of, that I know are not hiring, and I will say, I'm available to do this. And they will see my resume on LinkedIn and say, well, I said, no, don't worry, I'll do it for free.
Wow. Are you listening? I'm so shocked that Anita Erskine, like our own very almighty Anita Erskine, has done countless internships. Amazing. And nowadays we are so, we get so worked up when we do 1 or 2 internships. Amazing.
Well, naturally, because when you go into a space and you yearn to create some form of relevance, it doesn't hurt that after 1 or 2 internships, you want something more. You should want something more, But at the same time, you should also have behind, your mind, or you should also have the conviction that your time will come. So want something more. I think that the young people today, they want the world. Gosh, I wish I I wish I had that kind of desire. No, I wish I knew that kind of desire was possible. But I love it. I mean, they walk in here and they want to be, and I'm like, wow. And you shall be. So hey.
At that age, were you looking up to someone?
You know, it's such an important question that keeps coming at me, and I keep racking my brain and saying, who was I looking up to? And I'm thinking that in a space where at the time, I had Oprah to look up to, or a Martha Stewart, or I don't know, all these kind of international names. I think that what was resonating with me in terms of people I was looking up to was the Maria Makeba, was the Wangari Maathai, was the, Winnie Mandela. Because in all of this, you're talking about media, but I was also then discovering the power of my voice. You see, you asked a question about, did you know I was going to do media? But I was evolving, and it wasn't just about, media, camera, lights, action. It was about voice. So the relevance wasn't, I have a talk show. No, but it was about change. A very interesting kind of thing that was happening to me. So I was looking up to these African female pioneers who would stop at nothing if they had a vision, if they had a mission, and who would get people to stop and pay attention and listen and support, and who would kind of be a matriarch of a generation. That's what I was looking up to.
Wow. Because I quite remember the first time I saw you, I put on my TV set and I see a woman pop up and she's doing a commercial for Tigo.
Yeah.
And she was it was so effortless. Like, she was just going on and on and on. And I was like, wow, like, who is this woman? That was the first time I set my eyes on you, and I was like, this is so amazing. So that was when I fell in love with you.
Oh, thank you very much.
You were not doing media then, you were with Tigo. Yes. You're working for Tigo.
Yes, I was working in media and in Tigo at the same time.
Oh.
I was working for TV3, and I was working for Millicom Ghana at the time that owned Tigo. I had 2 jobs.
Oh. So how do you manage that?
Oh man, you don't think about managing it. You just do it. You don't think, how? No, you just wake up and you decide, I'm going to do this for this, and I'm going to do that for that. As long as this allows me the space to do this, and vice versa, I'm going to do it. And DSTV at the same time. Okay,
but I'm sure there'll be one show that actually made your name escalate, like get everywhere.
No, I think in our beautiful nation of Ghana, TV3's mentor kind of sealed the deal for me. And Ghanaians were very welcoming. I mean, I would come into their homes every Sunday. So TV3 gave me the platform to talk to the nation of Ghana. Mnet Studio 53 gave me the platform to talk to the continent of Africa. Okay. Yeah? Yeah. You get it? So I have both organizations or both spaces to thank for elevating me in and TV3 had its promise, continues to have its promise, and delivered on that promise. And so did, DSTV, delivered on that promise. So it's a blessing all around.
Wow. And combining all that, how do you take it now? People see you, Anita Erskine, and you came up with the shoe thing. I think you were doing something on campuses. Yeah. You did something for the youth. How did that also come in play?
I told you about people I looked up to, and these were women who were inspiring change. And today there's so many more. It wasn't success. What is success? I mean, success for me wasn't, hey, Anita Erskine, hey, yeah, boss lady. No, but it was, if you say you've done this, if you say you believe in this, if you say you've gone here, then what have you done for the people who may never have access to the place, the rooms, the people that you have, or you had access to? Really, what is your legacy? Oh, that you're such a good. No, it's not enough. I remember, I was doing something in Toronto, in Canada, and somebody passed a comment about fans and how fans make you relevant. And if fans don't think that you give them something, not just watch it, but if they can't get that something from you that shits their lives in a way, then fans are going to say, yep, thanks, Next, when I started Anita Erskine Shiros, it felt like just having a TV conversation wasn't enough. That I needed to be able to take these conversations into schools, into corporate entities, and talk to these women and girls who also want to have, their own version of success. That's how it started.
Wow. And how is it now?
It's. I tell you something that changed, especially during COVID. Moving from one geographical area was difficult. Oh. And then suddenly COVID just gave us options. Talking to people online, So how it is now is it's accessible because anybody can book a meeting, can book a session, can book a mentorship, whatever, be in Navrungo and say, oh, well, I want to talk to you. And, we hook up on a digital communications platform. I don't want to promote the ones I use because they don't pay me. But that's how it is right now. And, being able to sponsor some of these girls to pursue their tertiary education, being able to interact with, you're not young, but you know what I mean. Younger than you. It's a blessing to always be able to talk to people who may not necessarily know which direction to take, but maybe through a conversation are able to figure out, oh, okay, I can use this route and I can achieve my goals if I use this route because Anita has given me that advice.
Okay, but does Shiro has an age limit?
Oh, no, absolutely not. You saw my mother coming in, right?
Yes.
My mother is 87. My biggest fan, my biggest project. My mother has so many different ideas. We have so many conversations. And that's what Shiro's is. It's, the sharing of ideas. Not only do you share, but the teaching that, we teach each other in our experiences. The guidance we give each other because we feel maybe I've experienced something and I can see where Margaret is going with this. I can say, oh, Margaret, sister, this direction might land you. And that's what Shiros is about. So if my mother's 87 and she can come into the office and we can do a tete-a-tete, and Margaret, who's from another generation, then you can see that Shiros is for everybody, really. Wow. Every single woman who has this burning and yearning desire to be and do something or to be more, do more, and create change.
Okay, I want you to help us with our question for the day. That is, how do young women in media have a career in media and also have a relationship at the same time? Because most of the time is one of the biggest challenge of young women.
You can see I'm drinking my coffee.
So how does young media personality have a career in media and still have a successful relationship?
Oh, Margaret. I want to be very sincere.
Okay.
And I want to be very honest. I think life is about choices.
Okay.
And at every stage in your life, you're making a particular choice at the cost of something else. Are you paying attention?
I'm listening.
So a quote, and I don't quote verbatim, but a quote from Oprah guided my thought about being a family woman, being a professional woman, an entrepreneur, a globetrotter. And the quote is along the lines of, women can have whatever they want, maybe not all at the same time,
Okay.
And what I add to that is, whatever decision you make, you've got to commit to it. So, women in media, that you want to pursue an education in broadcast journalism. You want to be top of your class. You want to be, you want to do your undergrad, then your master's, then your PhD, whatever it is. But maybe personally, that you're not the kind of person who can hold a relationship and study at the same time. So you make a choice and say, something? The next 10 years of my life are committed to education. And maybe I'm not the kind of person who can be in school and get married and have children at the same time. So my plan for this 10 years is to be in school. Then when you finish school, or maybe halfway through, because things do change and people's minds do change, you can say the next 2 years of my life are committed to having children, because maybe halfway through school, you met the love of your life in school. You can't say, hey, masa. You're not part of my 10-year plan, because we change, we evolve, our needs change. So you can say, I've met this man of my dreams and I really want to settle down. If you are blessed and favored, you meet somebody who wants to go along with you on your dreams. But the thing is, the two of you in a relationship don't exist in a bubble. You exist in a community, and the community has, whether you like it or not, they have their influence on your relationships or on your life. So then you can decide, okay, well, I had wanted to pursue my master's, I'd wanted to pursue my PhD, but I've just met this man and I think I want to start a family with him. So that means that I'm going to continue to pursue my education, but if I get pregnant and I have children, obviously I may not necessarily have the time to be a full-time student, but I want to continue my education. So I won't put my education on back burner, but I'll see how I can manage it. So maybe I have to do part-time education, and then maybe I have to be full-time mom. So you see, you've made a choice. In that moment, you make a choice on what is your priority. And it's your choice. And it's okay. So I'm basically explaining to you that you are in charge of your own life. There's no rule in any book that says from 21 to 31, you must. There's no rule in any book that says, oh, if you do this, you can't do this. Yes, society and community will, they'll tug at you a little bit, and you get a few people saying, oh, I didn't want to hire you because of this. You show up pregnant, then they say, I understand and I agree. You've also got to be able to look at every circumstance you're in and look on the bright side. So when I had my children, my beautiful children, Molly is my first, Nesta is my second, I knew that as a mother of, they're almost twins, they're born a year apart. I knew I couldn't be everywhere at the same time. So I had to decide, Anita, where do you want to be at this time? I wanted to be with my family. So the people will say, hey, are you still in the business? It didn't bother me. Hey, are you still doing, and people, oh, she's retired. It didn't bother me because at that time, my priority was being a mother. Could I have combined it? Yes. Do people combine it? Absolutely. But each man and the choice they make, that makes them feel good about themselves.
Okay.
So when they were old enough, I thought, oh, go back to work full time. And then, of course, get the support from your husband, from your partner, from your family. So I can't give you a black and white answer and say, oh, you have to, because Margaret, you may be one of the smartest girls in your class who really knows how to multitask. Me, Anita, I don't know how to multitask. I don't know how to be in 10 places at the same time. I know how to be maybe in 3 places at the same time. So those 3 places, I decide, oh, then it's got to be my kids' school. Then it's got to be, my studio. Then it's got to be this. Okay. So you overheard me speaking to Sharon, my executive assistant, or, Cecil, my project manager, about, oh, the time the kids will finish school. It's part of my life. Okay. So I just, it's...
So you always have to choose what is best for you.
Absolutely. In that moment, choose what works for you. So if it's a relationship and the relationship comes at a cost, you've got to ask yourself, am I willing to pay the price of this? And the same thing, like when you have money, this beautiful hair on you. When you chose to do the hair, didn't it come at the cost of something?
Yes.
Absolutely. But you really want it because it makes you look good. So in that moment, you're like, it's got to be the pixie haircut. The Gucci shoe can wait. It's all about choices. You pray. Like I said, I love my God. So I also pray. So this answer is also along the lines of prayer. Father God, I'm about to make this decision. Please be with me.
Okay. So let's come to Jack Ma.
Uncle Jack.
Yes. How did that happen?
I got a call from Charterhouse in November 2019. To host a conference that was being organized by Jack Ma and the Jack Ma Foundation. It was called the African Entrepreneur Prize. So it was going to be this Pan-African, search for entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs. The relationship started through Charterhouse on that day, on the stage. So there I was on stage with, Jack Ma, His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and Jet Li. You know Jet Li?
I know him.
Are you sure?
You
a Gen Z for
Oh no, we do know Jet Li.
So that moment launched my relationship with what we now know as the Africa's Business Heroes, and I've been part of the Jack Ma Foundation ever since, you know, and Jack Ma, I just believed in his dream for African entrepreneurs, and that's where the relationship began.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But when you got this platform, how did you feel being with one of the richest men in the world?
It felt meaningful. When you do what you do every day and you are genuine about it, you are authentic about it. I like to say it is God that orders your steps. Yeah? So that when a phase of your life comes where the good Lord believes this affiliation, this partnership will elevate you in this phase, He makes it happen. So it felt meaningful. It felt like, again, the puzzle I've been talking about, or the puzzle I mentioned, that every organization, it felt like the right puzzle for the right place at the right time.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, you're very eloquent, especially with your deliveries. I wanted to find out, when you were in school, did you have any special books you were reading?
No. But when I would be on the streets of Accra and I would see billboards and I would say to myself, okay, read that billboard and see how it sounds. Ladies in media, live on YouTube. I'll say it again. Ladies in media, live on YouTube. No, I can't hear the you. Okay. Ladies in media, live on YouTube. That sounds nice. Okay. Let me go to the next one. That's what I would do.
So you trained yourself
I trained
to sound
myself
like that.
Now, when I went to university, I didn't get into the broadcast journalism course. So again, I knew that I had to use my internships, my various interactions to train myself. How I speak, how I sound, what I say, how it probably sounds not just to me, but to the person across from me.
So what course did you do?
I did cultural studies, which was a fine blend of writing and what we like to call oral narration. So you write a story and then, storytelling. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's it.
And you've been able to train yourself to be this good.
Yes. And I advocate for it. Go to school. But, don't say that, I'm going to wait. When I get to school, then I'll learn this. No. Train yourself. Because you know how you want to sound, right? And you know what you want, how you want people to feel when you talk to them. Once you are in the communications field, you have absolutely no excuse for not sounding good and not, your voice and you need to sound musical. That's what communications is. That's what makes it so exciting. If I'm not reading something musical, if I'm not hearing something musical, it's about, communicating. It has to be clear. It has to be.
Amazing.
You get me?
I get you. That's why you sing your information. You sing it out.
Tweet it. Yes, I sing my information. I love it. Clever girl. I sing my information. Yeah.
Wow.
It must appeal. People must love listening to you on radio. They must love listening to you when when you're reporting the news. It's not just about the information, but it's about how it's packaged. Our fans deserve to be, they deserve to be given the best.
So when did you get into movies? Because I know you're blending TV journalism and
everything else in between.
And you're doing movies. So I'm just wondering how.
I've got Shirley Frimpong-Manso and Sparrow Productions to blame for that. But Shirley has always said that if I don't act, that I'm throwing away a perfectly good gift that God gave me. She said it to me a few times. I mean, and not in a, if you don't know, but she said it to me very sternly. She said, you know what, if you don't apply this, it's a shame. Wow. Straight up, black and white. Go and think about it. And a few times after she said it, I thought, okay. So she got me into Yellow Pepe. I did that, and she was instructed Shirley performance was every single emotion, every single word, every single excellent director. And then now I'm in Dede. So that's how I listen, it's not like somebody discovered me like, OMG, you're so good. No, Shirley literally said, you will do this. This is how you will do it. And I thought, wow.
And your first try, was it something that you felt like, okay, this is an environment that I want to be in it for a very long time?
When, in the very first time I was in a movie, it was Yvonne Nelson's Single and Married. And she had given me an opportunity to actually play myself as a narrator.
Oh.
So it required, I had to be present, etc. But it was, she allowed me to be myself. So I didn't have to force myself. I didn't have to cry. I didn't have to. So it was a nice, easy kind of, maybe she, like a plane and a taxi, she helped me, and then when I got into Yellow Pepe, I had to act. I was acting as Anna. I had to cry, I had to be angry, I had to be all these kinds of things, you know what I mean? So it's, I've had the privilege of having various opportunities to learn how to do things, thanks to these individuals.
Amazing. So what is next for Anita Erskine?
COVID taught me that everything can happen and evolve even when you've planned life. So my answer to you would be, as much as you're in my studio today, and by God's grace, we have so many more productions coming up. I've got a new talk show that I'm working on. I think that it's fair to say that I'm on course, with my personal productions, etc. And just to see them syndicated around the world is what is a natural graduation of what is next. You see what I mean? So yeah, we keep seeing what will happen when we get there, but it's very exciting.
Okay, so what are you going to tell a young person looking at you right now, watching you? What are you going to leave us with?
Prepare yourself for failure. Don't prepare yourself for success. Because success is, one of those things where it's like a beautiful woman. You see her at a club, it's like, ooh, she's fine. But prepare for what you'll see when she removes the makeup. So that the, ooh, she fine can continue to be, ooh, she fine. You know what I mean? Prepare yourself for failure. And prepare yourself by being versatile and be connected to who you truly are, so that when you fail, cry and be angry. But because you prepared yourself, you can also pick up the pieces and move. Because the one thing that is, I can guarantee you, I could say all the nice things about life. Oh, you'll be this, you'll be that, you'll fly. But I'm going to tell you the other side of it all. It is hard. We spent an hour talking, right? And it sounds like a bed of roses, right? It is very hard, very difficult to do what we do consistently without ever feeling that our back is broken, or without ever feeling that we've lost something. So prepare yourself for failure so that success becomes so natural. Actually, failure is the bonus. That's what I would say.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a great inspiration talking to you today. Wow, today has been so inspiring. I know you were so blessed and you're so touched with what Anita Erskine told us right now. But one thing that I'm taking home is that you don't have to stop learning. Internship, internship, internship. She's still doing internship at this age. Wow. Then what is your excuse not trying? I know you've heard it all and there's nothing I can add to it. This has been the Ladies in Media Show. My name is Margaret Baden. If you like my jacket, it's by Ruba Curls. So just go on IG and type Ruba Curls and she would hook you up with anything that you love to wear for any occasion. Thank you so much for staying with us today. And thank you to my crew for holding us down today. And thank you, Anita,
Pleasure.
for gracing this show for us.
Pleasure.
Thank you. So until I see you same time next week, it's a bye for now. But as you know, this is Ladies in Media. And when we say Ladies in Media, we say we are taking over.
One day at a time, we taking.
Oh,
sorry.